Head over to miniaturemarket.com where they have thousands of board games at discounted prices, and you can sign up for product alerts. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're going to be going to the sandy beach and getting sand dollars. We're going to be having some sunglasses. We're going to be seeing some dolphins and hopefully some twin palms. Today we're taking a look at Twin Palms, a trick-taking game from Bink Ink. Let me show you how it's played. I'll see you on the other side. Twin Palms is a trick-taking game played over multiple rounds. It has up to 3 different suits, and you can play 4 different ways, from easy all the way to extreme, and you're trying to have the most sand dollars in the end. Now the game is played over multiple rounds, and each round you're going to play 5 tricks. Each player gets 10 cards, and someone will lead by playing 2 cards together. So there's 3 different players, they all played into the trick with 2 cards. So how do you figure out who wins the trick? Well, this game is very different in that regard, where let's say this player first played, they played a pair of dolphins. Then the next player played Twin Palms, which is the name of the game, 2 ones of the palm suit, and this one played a mixed match of a 10 palm and a 9 dolphin. You have the utmost flexibility, you can play any 2 cards together. It's really cool in this game. Now we are playing normal mode. I'll show you some of the differences of some of the other modes later, but it's sort of like a poker style ranking system, where the actual one that wins this one, believe it or not, is the twin palms of ones there. And you say, well, why? Well, the best one possible is a pair of palms. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be ones, but any pair of palms, if there were two twin palm pairs, the higher one would win. So right now, this is the only twin palm pair, so this one would win the trick. Second would be this. So if this was not here, this was going to be leading, because a pair of dolphins is second best and a pair of mixed is third best. This one is off suit. It's not a pair and it's mixed, so it's lowest. So it's actually 6 tiers. So you have twin palms, so a pair of palms beats anything. And again, if they're tied with both pair of palms, the higher numbers win. Then pair of dolphins, then mixed pair, then 2 palms that are not pairs, 2 dolphins that are not pairs, and then 2 mixed that obviously are not pairs. So that's the ranking of this. So in this case, this player would take these cards, they won this trick, and they would lead the next trick. And you do that for 5 tricks, and then the round is over. So how do you know how many sand dollars you get? Well, before anyone plays their first trick, after you have your cards in your hand, you're going to be bidding. Everyone has their own bidding cards of the same color, and they're going to secretly place down how many tricks they think they're going to win. This would be before the round. And then, once everyone's picked, everyone reveals, so everyone knows how many tricks they think. Like in this case, I bid that I was going to win 2 tricks. In fact, I did win 2 tricks, and if I'm exact, I would get 5 sand dollars. But let's say instead, I didn't get 2. Let's say I actually went over. Let's say I actually won a 3rd trick. Well, I didn't get exactly 5, but I will get 1 per trick. Otherwise, if I'm not exact, I would get 1. So I'd get 3 coins there. So it's forgiving, but at the same time, it's still really fun. But these change depending on what you bid. You bid 0, if you get exact, you get 5. Otherwise, you get nothing. If you bid 1, you'll get 3 if you're exact. But if you bid 5, wow, if you get exactly 5, which is winning every trick, which is almost impossible, you're going to get 15, otherwise 1 per trick. So it's set up very cleverly. You would then move to the next round, and you'll play a certain amount of rounds depending on the amount of players. Now let's talk about another element that you don't have to play with. In fact, in your first game or first couple rounds, I recommend not playing with this. You're going to be betting. Now with betting, let's say it's the 4th round, okay? I've gotten my cards, and I'm going to put down my bid, and I'm going to put down a bet. Then, once everyone has them there, we're going to flip them over. So let's say, again, I bid for 2 tricks, but let's say here I bet 0, I bet nothing. This was essentially a bluff card. So you don't have to bet if you're not confident if you're going to make this bid or not. So depending on how confident you are, if you are really confident, in this case I was not very confident, so I didn't bet anything. But if I was very confident, I would have bet, along with this one, max. Now this is going to be equal to the round number as it shows here. So it's going to be 4. So every round, this card gets more and more powerful, which also helps people that are a little bit further behind. It keeps the game very interesting all the way to the end. So in this case, because I bet the max and the round is 4, I would take 4 of my own sand dollars that I've already earned that game and bet them and put them on this umbrella. Now, If I don't exactly make my bet too, I'll still get, the amount of $10 per trick, but I didn't make my bet, so I would lose all this. However, if I did exactly make my bet, not only would I get the 5 exact for making my bid, but I'm gonna get this back, and I will get 4 more from the supply, so essentially doubling that money. Now that was normal mode. You can play in easy mode where you use only one suit, palms, and then it's just a pair of palms or no pair of palms. This is really good for people that have never played trick-taking games before, or people that don't play games, or children. And it's a very easy way to get people into trick-taking, and after you play it with this, then you can bring them up to the normal level. But once you've gotten past the normal level, you can go to Advance, which adds a 3rd suit. It's the orange sunglasses, and it's very similar to the first ones, except sunglasses is lower than dolphins. So twin palms is still best, then pair of dolphins, then pair of sunglasses, then any mixed pair, any 2 different suits pairs. Then it goes down to no pair of palms, no pair of dolphins, no pair of sunglasses, no pair of mix. So again, even more thinking is because you're always choosing which 2 cards to play, but you can even take this further, which is you can play Crazy Extreme version, which is a pair. So it's pair of palms, then dolphins, then sunglasses, then a mixed palm dolphin beats a mixed pair of palm sunglasses, which beats a mixed pair of dolphin sunglasses, and all the way down in that regard with no pair. So it just makes it even more thinky of a game. And regardless of which mode you play a certain amount of rounds, depending on the players. Whoever has the most $10 at the end is the winner. All right, I first want to disclose that I did do a Kickstarter preview for this game, in which I was compensated for. In any of my preview videos, I never offer opinions because I never like to blur the lines between opinions and being paid to do a sponsored video for them. But this is not a sponsored video. I was not compensated for doing this. This is a review because I love this game and I want more people to play it. So my preview and that whole deal has nothing to do with what I feel about the game. So twin palms, this, if I'm gonna give I've got 2 sort of sentences for this game. This I think is the trick-taking game for everyone. And a lot of people are like, well, that's stupid. No game is for everyone. True. But if there ever was a trick-taking game for everyone, this would be it. Because of all of these reasons, especially with the different ways that you can vary the difficulty and the depth of the game. I love the sort of beachy appearance. The cards, the art, it all fits really nice. The little things that are on the cards, they just did a good job to make you kind of feel like you're at the beach. I usually play some little Hawaiian music in the background. It really kind of draws you into that beach theme. The best thing about this game is the flexibility of combining 2 cards. So with the same hand, you get dealt a hand, and depending on what you bid and what other players bid, you can change how you play the thing to the point where you probably could win a bunch, but maybe you also, even with a good hand, you could forcibly lose them too. And that's beautiful because it's all of not just about it's not one of those trick-taking games where you get your hand, you make your bid, you're kind of stuck with that, and the hand kind of plays itself. No way. With this, you've got so many decisions and what to do and who won and how many tricks are left and how many more do you have to win and what cards do you have. You can really finagle that to really try to make your bid more often than normal in most trick-taking games, but you can also do the betting too. So I really love that flexibility of being able to play any 2 cards. It really just opens up a great decision space. Then you have the wilds. I didn't even show these in the overview, but there are wild cards that when you play it, you say what it is. Even more flexibility. It's great. Another thing I didn't show in the overview, at the high-level overview, was if you tie. If you tie with somebody else, neither of you get it. In fact, it goes to the next player. I call this Las Vegas style because there was a popular dice game out there called Las Vegas, and it used that as its main thing of area control. But if you tie, neither of you get it. This does the same thing. I've always loved that tiebreaker, and it does it here, and it works really well. The secret bidding. Again, you don't play with this on your first play or if you're teaching new players, but if you're a seasoned trick taker, you can start bidding right away, the first round. But if you're playing this with anyone that has not played trick taking before, start without the bidding, and then even after the first or second round, if they've never played trick taking, you can add the bidding in there, because it really ramps up anyways as the maxes per round. But the bidding is so much fun. It adds tension. It adds a catch-up mechanism with the max round. Another sort of one-liner for this, I think, is this is the Swiss Army knife of trick-taking games because of all the modes. You start from super easy, which is a basic game with one suit that you can play with kids or people that don't play any games, all the way up to extreme. Advanced is actually my favorite. Extreme is almost a little too much thinking for me for this type of game. This game is like, it's breezy, but I can make it still be pretty thinky at the same time with the advanced mode, but I'm glad that they're all there. Now, no game is perfect, and so there's a couple of things that I think could have improved the game after spending more time with it. Number one is the rounds. Now, you play a certain amount of rounds per player. I feel like 5 rounds is about the perfect length for the game, and that's how many you do for 5 players. But they have you play a certain amount of rounds depending on players, and I'm guessing that is because they want to make sure there's an even amount of times that people get to start the first trick of the round. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Playing 8 rounds for 4-player games, quite honestly, is just too many. It's fine. 5 rounds is perfect. More than 5 rounds, I feel like it slowly starts to outstay its welcome for what type of game it is. It's a light, breezy game that can be very crunchy. I don't often house rule things, but I just play 5 rounds, no matter what the player count is. It's fine. By the time you get to the 5th round, you're doing max bets, you're winning 5. It's enough to catch up. And I think that's about a good bite-sized chunk for what this game offers. But it is amazing. So that's a minor nitpick. Play how many rounds you want. But that's just me. And then the cards are good quality. If I had a wish list, I would have loved this sort of linen cards because you're constantly shuffling these. The cards are not thin. They are good quality cards. It's just, hey, this is a wish list of mine. And I'm really reaching to see what things I could say to improve the game, because quite honestly, the game's fantastic. It's absolutely going to be a staple in my trick-taking arsenal. It's definitely going to be in the conversation for card game of the year for me. Again, no promises, but it's at least in the conversation for my top 5 card games of the year for sure. And that's it. That is Trim Palms. So I am keeping this in my gaming library for all these reasons. And when I do that, I give it a saxophone serenade, and that means about 6 months from now, once that box has been on the new arrival shelf for a while and things start to cycle through as I keep games over the next 6 months, I'll have to figure out where to put it in the card game shelf and figure out what to get rid of, which is always tough. So that's it. That is Twin Palms. Has been the Game Boy Geek, breaking down barriers, growing relationships through board games by helping you find the next one you love. Hit it. Game Toppers not only transforms your existing table to a high-quality gaming solution, they now offer full leg kits and dining cover solutions for the full table application. Paired with their amazing thematic premium stitch edge mats from noted board game artists like Vincent Dutray, collapsible cup holders, and really cool accessories, it's a complete system that upgrades every game you play. Go to GameToppersLLC.com or click the link below to late pledge for their latest Game Topper 3.5 Kickstarter campaign.